In this video, we will discuss about the various types of the lipids. Organic molecules are the carbon-containing compounds, and these carbon-containing compounds present in the living tissue are called as the biomolecules. So, when you grind the biomolecules in the trichloroacetic acid, so that gives a slurry, and when you strain this slurry by using the cheesecloth or cotton, usually we get the two components. One is acid soluble filtrate, which contains high amount of the cytoplasmic contents, and other content is the acid insoluble retentate. So usually this acid insoluble retentate contains the macromolecules as well as the cell organelles. The major components present in the case of acid insoluble retentate are the biomacromolecules whose molecular weight is higher than the 10 kDa, that means 10,000 Daltons. And the major biomacromolecules present in the acid retentate are the amino acids, nucleic acids, as well as the carbohydrates. The important component present in the case of acid insoluble retentate, which is not a biomacromolecule, is the lipids. And these lipids can be defined as the macromolecules, that is non-polar and insoluble in water. So usually these lipids are non-polar in nature, so these are not soluble in the water. These lipids may be present as the fatty acid, or that may be present as the simple glycerol, or majority of the lipids they are containing both this glycerol as well as the fatty acid. That means majority of the lipids present as the glyceride, which contains both fatty acids as well as the glycerol. Coming to the fatty acid, and this fatty acid can be defined as which is a carboxylic acid with a long aliphatic chain, and this aliphatic chain may be saturated or unsaturated. In the case of these fatty acids, the functional group is the carboxylic acid, and this carboxylic acid is linked with a long aliphatic chain, and this long aliphatic chain may be saturated as well as unsaturated also. So this fatty acid, which contains carboxylic acid as the functional group and which contains a R side chain also, R group, and this R group may be with a single methyl or ethyl groups, or that may contain a aliphatic hydrocarbon which contains 1 to 19 carbons. The side chain may contain 1 to 19 carbons, even more than that carbons also present in the case of side chain. The fatty acids which contains 16 carbons, including the carbon present in the functional group. If the fatty acid contains 16 carbons, then we call it as the palmitic acid. So palmitic acid is a saturated long chain fatty acid with a 16 carbons, including the carbon present in the case of carboxylic acid. And if the fatty acid contains 20 carbons, then we call it as the arachidonic acid. So arachidonic acid is a saturated long chain fatty acid with 20 carbons. Even the carbon, we need to consider the carbon present in the case of functional group also, that is carboxylic acid. Yeah, here is the 20 carbon arachidic acid. Overall 20 carbons are present, including the carbon present in the case of carboxylic acid. And usually this arachidic acid is a saturated fatty acid. And in the case of this side chain, that may be saturated or unsaturated. So in the case of saturated fatty acids, so in between the carbons usually single bond is present, but whereas in the case of unsaturated fatty acids, double bond is present in between the carbons present in the side chain. Here stearic acid, which is a common example for the saturated fatty acid, here we see the single bonds present in between the carbons in the side chain. Then coming to the another fatty acid, that is oleic acid, which is an example for the typical unsaturated fatty acids. Here we can see the presence of the double bond in between the carbons. So if double bonds are present in between the carbons in this side chain, usually we call it as the unsaturated fatty acid. Then glycerol is the another form of the lipids. This glycerol is a simple lipid, and it is called as the trihydroxy propane. So in this glycerol, three carbons are present, and these three carbons are linked with the hydroxy groups. So this glycerol is a trihydroxy propane. But majority of the lipids, they contain both fatty acid as well as the glycerol in its structure. That means as a glyceride, and this glyceride is the esterified product of both this glycerol as well as the fatty acid. Yeah, coming to the definition for this glyceride, these are the esters formed from glycerol and the fatty acid that are very hydrophobic in nature. So these are the esters. Then coming to the what is meant by esterification. So esterification is the process of combining organic acid with an alcohol to form ester. In this, in the glycerides, usually the fatty acid which contains the carboxylic acid and the alcohol group present in the case of glycerol, they are reacting together and forming the esters. That is a glyceride. Yeah, this is the chemical equation about the esterification. A carboxylic acid side chain from the fatty acid and alcohol from the glycerol, they are reacting together, and by removing the water molecule, that is dehydration, that leads to formation of an ester. And here glycerol provides the hydrox group, that is alcohol group, and the fatty acid and the carboxylic group of the fatty acid that provides the acidic group. When one molecule of fatty acid reacts with one hydroxy group of glycerol, that leads to formation of the monoglyceride. If two fatty acids react with the two hydroxy groups of the glycerol, that forms the diglycerides. And if three fatty acid molecules react with three hydroxy group of the glycerol, and that leads to the formation of the triglycerides. Same thing we can see here. If one fatty acid reacts with one hydroxy, that is monoglyceride, two fatty acids with two hydroxy, that leads to formation of diglycerides. And if three fatty acids react with three hydroxy group of the glycerol, that forms the triglycerides. And these triglycerides are composed of glycerol that attach to three fatty acids by a dehydration synthesis reaction. And in the majority of the lipids, they contains phosphorus as one of its component. If phosphorus is present, then usually such kind of lipids are called as the phospholipids. So usually these phospholipids are present in the case of cell membrane. Then this is the phospholipid here, and this phospholipid usually contains hydrophilic head region and hydrophobic tail regions. In the case of this hydrophilic head region, which contains phosphate group and the glycerol, so one hydroxy from the glycerol react with the phosphate group, and the other two hydroxy groups that react with the saturated or unsaturated fatty acids, and that forms the hydrophobic tail regions. Then here, this is the typical lipid bilayer, where we can see the hydrophobic tail regions and the hydrophilic head regions. And in this hydrophilic head regions, phosphate is present. That's why we call it as the phospholipid. And here also we can see the lipid bilayer sheet. These lipids are arranged in two layers, where we can see that hydrophobic tail regions, they present inwards, and the hydrophilic head regions present outside the towards aqueous side. And the typical example for this phospholipid is the lecithin, and this lecithin is present in the neuronal cells. In the neural cells, this lecithin is present. Yeah, based on the melting point, that means the temperature at which solids they convert into the liquid. So based on this melting point, these lipids can be classified as the fats as well as the oils. Usually the fats are with high melting point. But whereas in the case of these oils, usually they are with the low melting points. That's why they remain present as the oil during the winter season where the temperature is very low. And the example for these oils are gingerly oil. This is about the different kinds of the lipids present in the case of living organisms.